family, it's Tasha MAMABEAR Prepping. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. You already know what time it is, baby. Get your drink, pull up. Let's talk about it. Today I want to talk about the crisis that will ensue, the panic that will ensue when something happens, something big happens. And you see all these videos about 90% of people will pass away, 90% of people are not going to make it, yada, yada, yada. And it's such big numbers. And a lot of people think, well, that's garbage numbers. And I've even done videos on exactly why, 90% is going to die. I've given you examples of why that is. Now, there's a lot of stuff I talk about on this channel, but there's stuff that I'm definitely passionate about. And if you've watched me for any amount of time, you know what that is, right? It's food, water, meds. It's preparing for grid down and being ready to live your life with no power, and to not only live your life with no power for a short-term experience, but for possibly forever, meaning something happens that takes us back to horse and carriage type days, no power. And do you have the things to make that transition as smooth as it can be? Okay. Now, one of the biggest reasons that I think it's going to be such a problem with people dying and such a big number dying is because we are a society that are so dependent on medicine. Over-the-counter medicines, vitamins, supplements, prescription meds, a lot of people on chronic stuff, on life-saving stuff. I mean, you name it. There's a multitude of medicines that people are dependent on. Even something as simple as over-the-counter. Somebody takes something for chronic pain every day, and they're taking that, and then all of a sudden you don't have that. And this is an area where we talk about 90%, the number's so big. Obviously, none of us know the exact numbers and stats, but it's a high number. It's going to be a high number. And it's not going to just be sheep and the people that don't listen. And yeah, of course, that person that never listened to anything I said is not going to make it. It's more than that, right? It's lions. There's going to be people like you and I that are going to struggle in this area because they just didn't think about it enough. They didn't prepare. And so, if you take anything from this video today, it's to really take a look at the things that you and your family have used currently now. So prescriptions, things like that. But what are things that you guys have used in the past? Go back 5, 10 years and just kind of make a list of all the things that have happened to each person in your house. Hey, somebody had kidney stones at some point. Hey, somebody broke their arm at some point. Hey, somebody gets chronic headaches all the time. Somebody has chronic back pain that they're trying to deal with. Somebody's always twisting their ankle. Whatever it is for your family, it is important to get those things, stockpile those things, medicines and medical supplies for different things that have happened to you guys so that you're ready. And if you are on prescriptions, it's about getting those prescriptions as far in advance that your doctor will allow you. That's you taking advantage of companies like JASE Medical. I need you to take a look, use the link below and go to JASE Medical and check them out. They have a couple first of all, they have more than a couple. So they have their JASE case, which is their original, comes in different sizes that you can buy, but essentially it's your antibiotics, right? Something happens, you need antibiotics, you have to go see a doctor, you have to go get prescribed, and then you go get it. This is a case that has 5 or 6 different antibiotics, your basic antibiotics in it. It's a prescribed case, right? So you're going to show your ID, prove who you are, and you're going to actually get a prescribed a kit with 5 or 6 prescribed medications, okay, for different various antibiotics. You get a nice little booklet that tells you which one each one is good for, right? My hubby has already used some for ours for a toothache, a really bad toothache he had, where he had a tooth emergency and wasn't able to get into the dentist right away. And this was able to help him and kind of nip that in the butt so that no infection started getting out of control, right? Very good to have these things, and you can get them for every adult in your house, right? Because it's a prescribed medication. But having that peace of mind of having that. They have other products now, Daily Kit, where basically it's your chronic everyday prescription medicines that you have for chronic basic ailments, all the basic stuff, diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, all those basics. Maybe you have chronic back pain and you're taking ibuprofen or whatever it is, right? and you're getting a 12-month supply of that, okay? So please take a look at the website. Please take a look at the details of these different kits, and do this. This is a great peace of mind. People, one question that I've gotten since the beginning of time of anybody knowing that I do this is, how do you stockpile prescribed medicines? My doctor will only give me 30 days or 60 days, right? And so how do you stockpile? And this is the exact answer. I've never had a true answer except to just please talk to your doctors, tell them your concerns, and just see, you know, especially if it's not medications that can be, you know, addictive and that you're going to get addictive, right? Opiates, just different things that you can get that you can get from your doctor, and they don't want you to get hooked, so they won't give you a big amount. But I've really never had an answer except you have to go to your doctor and try to work it out. And some people can get, you know, 2-3 months worth, you know, but some people cannot, right? And so this is a way, JASE Case is a way that you can go and get their daily kit and get you your prescribed everyday chronic medicines for a year's worth, okay? So take a look at that. I'm sure there's medicines that are too much that they're not able to do. I'm sure there's a lot of the basics, but see what you can get, okay? Totally worth it. This is a big budget type of item, right? If you've got it, you got it. But for some people, you've got to think this through, budget it through. Please do. It's just like any of these other things that are bigger items that I say are super important. And when you can get them in your budget, get them in your budget, like a large water filtering system, totally worth it. You know, your dehydrators, your canners, your freeze dryers, just those bigger items, it's important to get those things and get them in, okay? Super important medicines. Be going over the counter, get that stuff. You know, I've said for a long time, if we get into a conflict with China, we're going to be cut off our over-the-counter meds. You're not going to be able to get them. And depending on where India falls in their alliance, is going to depend on what we get from them as well, because those are the two major players when it comes to medicines and the pieces that we, America, get to then make medicine. So even though we might make some medicine here, we are getting those pieces, those ingredients, if you will, from China or India. And so once they're out of the field, it's going to be a problem. We've discussed, you know, regulations and them wanting us to fall in line. And if one way that they get us to fall in line is if they cut us off from our meds and they say, hey, well, we're going to regulate all these meds. We're going to regulate the over-the-counter stuff. You're not going to be able to just get over-the-counter stuff. Something as basic as an aspirin, you're going to have to go to the doctor and get a prescription. And it's another way to force you into any kind of systems, right? And so preparing for that and stockpiling and getting ready. Another piece of this too is going back and learning holistically the things that are beneficial for you. The different plants, their leaves, the bark, the flowers, the seeds, all the different parts of a plant and what can be ingested, what cannot, what is safe, what is not safe, what can be cooked, what can be made into tinctures and salves and applied to skin and given to animals and all of this stuff. Super, super important, okay? Something as simple as a stomach ache. You don't have no Pepto. You don't have no pain medicine. You don't have anything. You know, is there a plant that you're able to make a tea, get some of that, procure it and make a tea maybe out of it, or a tincture, or whatever the case may be, okay? These simple old school, you know, things are important. We've gone away from knowing how to do things ourselves, knowing how to take care of ourselves, learning a skill, but learning stuff, right? Learning what the things that God put on this earth are for and can be used for, right? They're here for a reason. So use them, right? So that's the other aspect of this. But take a look at your supplies, take a look at where you stand with your preparedness stuff, take a look at your home pharmacy, if you will, and what do you have stockpiled and what do you still need to get. If you haven't gone to JASE Medical, please check them out. At a minimum, go there, check it out, and just see what maybe you can get and work into your budget for later, right? Again, not everybody can just, oh, I'm just going to get this case today, right? So just take a look and then work it into your budget. Make sure that if you are using my link that you put in the code, or use my link specifically so that you can get your $10 off the kit as well, okay? Whatever kit you get. All right. Anyway, I hope you guys are well. We're actually in for some rain today. It's been very, very hot and we're in for some rain. Yesterday, we got some heavy duty thunder. That was pretty crazy. Scared the cat like crazy. Scaring some animals and stuff. It was really, really deep and just wasn't really lightning, just heavy duty thunder, right? So it was just a lot of rumbling. So anyway, I hope you guys are well. I hope that if it is still hot where you're at, you are staying cool. And I'll pray for rain because I think everybody needs a little bit of rain right now. So, except people that are about to deal with the hurricane, of course. Okay. So you guys be well. I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Bye.